YouTube is respectful and lets everybody else come first before they do. And that's what we call good topping.
This is a family-friendly channel.
But I was also gonna say something along, like, you know, Julie Andrews and Princess Diaries too. She's like,
Tino, come closer to the computer.
late. Everyone else is late.
Nah, the queen gonna be late with me. Nah, don't play with me. Don't play with my son.
So we are actually live everywhere now. Yeah.
Gang. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Berkeley Poetry Slam. Gang. Happy Black History Month. Here at RichOak Events, the Berkeley Slam is Black History Year. It's Black History Decade, maybe even Black History Century. But for the month of February, we especially show our asses. So we have another amazing lineup of poets. We have another amazing feature that's gonna set it off for you tonight, Billy Tuggle. But before we begin, I gotta lay down some ground rules, because if I don't, it's gonna be buck wild in here. First, before I even get into the rules, where are my manners? I gotta say thank you to the people that make this shit happen. Because if it wasn't for them, our grateful, gracious patrons off on Patreon, we would not be sitting here today, being able to provide these programs right into your living room for free, paying artists, paying features, paying organizers to bring quality poetry right into your backyard. So I'd like to give a special thank you to our patrons, Renee Edmonds, Emily Chow, and Calla Lily for being regulars. I'd like to thank Jessica Kozakic for sponsoring one of our weekly workshops. And I'd like to give a special shout out to Alice Grimm for pledging $100 a month in support of one of our venues, the Allen Bluford Center. Because of patrons, we've been able to provide, I'm just gonna be honest, we've been able to provide over $20,000 worth of programming for free to the public. It has not been free on us. So if you would like to donate and make sure that we can continue organizing 3 slams in the Bay Area, you can do one of two things. You can go to patreon.com/RichOak Events to donate monthly. That helps us plan, budget, and grow. You also get perks like a newsletter, special shout outs, things of that nature. As a thank you. However, if you'd like to donate one time, we have a special place for you to donate. We have a GoFundMe. Yes, we are currently crowdfunding. We have a goal of $5,000. If we raise $5,000, we will be able to continue providing these programs for free until the end of the fiscal year, until our next grant cycle kicks up. So yeah, any money that you can donate really goes a long way in making sure we can continue to provide these programs. We will be putting the link to our GoFundMe in the comment section. If you can't donate, that's okay, because you have the power of the internet on your fingertips, so you can share. And even if you do donate, please share. At the very least, a little bit goes a long way. Gang, now we can move on to our rules. First, for the poets. Y'all know the drill: no props, no costumes, no musical accompaniment, no motherfucking nudity. This is a family show, even though I just said motherfucker. You know, I don't know what kind of family you have. Some families cuss, some don't. We'll be fine. But most importantly is the time limit. You got 3 minutes with a grace period of 10 seconds to say whatever you want. After 3 minutes, with that grace period of 10 seconds, you'll be deducted points by our scorekeeper, Tino. After 4 minutes, you will be muted and played off stage by our DJ and our live stream manager, and quite frankly, our Lord and Savior, Arvind Christ. Yeah, don't go over 4 minutes. It's awkward when you get muted and I have to come up, because I'm already an awkward person. So it's like awkward on top of awkward on top of awkward on top of, like, I don't know, white supremacy. It's not good. It's just not good. It's not a good February. So don't go over 4 minutes. Yes. Speaking of time and scores, we have rules for the judges. Judges, you will be scoring our poets from a 0.0 to 10.0 scale. 0.0 being the worst piece of shit you ever heard in your life. It's like the last 4 years on steroids and doing a backflip over your face. It is just really, really, really bad. And that's just a 2.5. The a 10.0 is the best thing you have ever heard in your life. It's like rainbows and unicorns and ice cream and lactose-free ice cream for those of us who can't have milk because we matter too and we like ice cream too. And that's just an 8.5. Point being, there's not a lot of zeros, there's not a lot of 10s. Score accordingly. There will be a sacrificial poet. They'll be going up first. Think of them as a calibration. So any poems you like more, score them higher. Any poems you don't like as much, score them lower. And finally, there are rules for you sitting at home. First and foremost, I need y'all to like, share, subscribe to whatever platform you are watching this live stream on, whether it be Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, or our YouTube channel, because we do this often. How often? Mad often. What does that mean? That means we have 7 live streams a month and 7 writing workshops, and you don't want to miss 14 literary events every month. That's a lot of things that you could be missing if you don't sweetie tap in. So I need everybody to sweetie tap in and like, share, and subscribe to all of our social media. More important than liking and sharing and subscribing is commenting. It is mad dry on Zoom. It is not mad dry when you show love in the comment section. Let us know. Don't be an asshole and try to say some smart shit because we block trolls. But if you have nothing but love in your heart and you are looking for some people to give it to, we have some lonely, hungry, love-deprived poets here for you to show maximum love for. So show your love in the comment section. We post them in the chat. People really love to see that you are vibing with their poetry. So please do that. Lit. So, the poets shall be reading in this order. We have Chardonnay, then we got Bambi, then we got Summertime, then we got Sova, then we got Bryce, then we got Show, then we got Colin. Gang. Lit. Everybody make some noise for all the poets coming up tonight. Yes.
Right.
Gang. All right. So we have our rules. We have our word of the day. We have our poets. Are we ready to start the show?
Yeah.
No. We need our sacrificial poet, someone to get these judges ready for scoring poetry. So I need everybody to say, spill the blood.
Spill the blood.
Spill that motherfucking blood.
Gang. And give it up for your sacrificial poet, Nicole Tracy.
All right. Let's go, poet.
Mic check.
Fuck him up.
We can hear you.
Rad. Proof you exist. A couple signatures, an official stamp from the Los Angeles County Public Records, parents' name and age, time. 4 a.m. You became your own existence, but what time did you become your own identity? 7:30 a.m. On your way to school, your mother insists she knows you better than you know yourself because she birthed you. 9:30 a.m. Oh no, you have to pick demographics to fill in on a standardized test. 9:32. Is there a right answer? What if I choose the adjective instead of the noun? 9:33. What if I just left this one blank? 10:30 a.m. The test is over. The first question really is the hardest. 10:45. Recess with people you're supposed to have some shared identity with, but none of them look like you. 10:50 a.m. If friends are a reflection of ourselves, this mirror is broken. 11 a.m. Another test, math. Thank God. No chance to get adjectives and nouns mixed up. 12 p.m. Okay, so math isn't your best subject, but you'll pass. 3 p.m. Your mother reads off your test scores and posts them on the fridge. 3:01 p.m. Would my English score be higher if I knew what was a noun and what was the adjective? 3:30 p.m. If you position 2 mirrors just right, you can split yourself in 2. 3:31 p.m. What would one half of you say to the other? Would you apologize to the other you? 4 p.m. Your teammate points out you were the only one that doesn't have to spray tan to be ready for the competition this weekend. Half of you should laugh, but none of you finds it funny. 7 p.m. Family dinner, but nothing about you identifies as family. 7:30 p.m. You only just noticed TV is no place to look for representation. Where are you supposed to find it instead? 7:45 p.m. Pick up a pen and paper. Pretend you are someone else looking for a reflection that looks like them. 8 p.m. Realize adjectives modify nouns. You are a noun. 8:01. Write yourself as a noun instead of an adjective. 8:30. Share your discovery. 8:32. Your only critique. Are you sure you're not an adjective? Forget the rest of adjective fragility. 8:40 p.m. Throw out every mirror that pretends to show you who you were. Throw out every adjective mirror. Keep the nouns. 10:30 p.m. Fall asleep pondering adjectives. Does a noun need an adjective? Google noun representation. Filter out adjective interpretations of nouns. No results. 11:30 p.m. Maybe noun representation is something I have to do for myself. 2 a.m. An adjective tries to modify a noun, tries to modify my noun. 4:01 a.m. You are your own identity.
Gang,
Yo.
gang. Give it up for Nicole Tracy.
Nice.
Yes. All right. Judges, you know exactly what to do. Send your score over to our scorekeeper, Tino. Lit. That was our first poet. Yes. Judges, y'all are ready. Y'all are able. We trust you. Audience. So I don't know if they're ready or able or to be trusted because I'm like not sitting in the room with them and I got trust issues like a motherfucker. So I need your help. I need y'all to sound off in the comment section. The more love you show to the poets, maybe you can sway the judges. Judges, don't be swayed by these random motherfuckers halfway across the world from you. You your own person. You were chosen to do this job. Audience, you know what to do. All right. So on deck, we have Bambi, but give maximum love to our first poet competing in the slam tonight. Give it up for Chardonnay.
Let's go, poet.
We can hear you.
So a white person with dreads comes up to me and has me fucked up. You take up too much space to take up space for me too. You write about brutality you can't experience, like your whiteness isn't erased, like your whiteness could be erased by your queerness, or your queerness could erase your privilege, but it's not an accurate narrative with you erasing your place in the pyramid as a caveat for oppression. You don't get to speak on my oppression from any angle other than the aggressor. Your revolution is colonizing my tongue with a rainbow flag and using it to speak on whiteness without indicting yourself. But all of y'all are guilty. My hair gets called nappy, but your hair may as well be a Nazi logo that you can't see. Call it color blindness or the erasure of Black heritage or manifesting something interesting about yourself because y'all love to take Black culture while talking over Black people. If you are a real ally, you'd show up to protest looking like those clean-cut white folks who the police don't get caught on. You'd be on the front lines when they come with the tear gas and the rubber bullets and the pelts. You'd take the first hit so that my Black ass wouldn't have to for a change. Or at the very least, you'd offer to pay me to educate you instead of acting like you deserve my words, knowledge, or presence. I get paid to teach and I don't do labor for free, especially for white people. But that's just like y'all, demanding Black space, time, and existence, simultaneously upholding systemic slavery while also denying you end up like your hair, damaged beyond recognition because you lack the strength or because you like the strength or depth it requires to embody anything Black. Thank you.
Gang, gang.
Gang.
Give it up for Chardonnay.
Woo, 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 woo.
And can we just say, I don't know if Chard knew this, but I think they cut out in the middle of that poem. Judges, if you could score based on what you were able to hear, and don't take technical difficulties into consideration, that would be lit. And can everybody just say fuck technology real quick?
Fuck that technology.
Fuck technology.
Gang, yes. Technology is ratchet. They don't like me. They kind of got hands though, so I'm not gonna talk too much shit. Because and for somebody said it, technology is racist. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Even though people of color are responsible for so many technological advances, specifically Black Americans, I challenge every single person to look up a list of Black inventions and count how many of them you use every day and just didn't know that they were made by Black people. Examples, the stoplight, gas mask, folding chair, folding tables, all things that we take for granted, but that were invented by Black people oftentimes. The entire space race, let's talk about it. Can we talk about how Black women got us in space, but no one talks about it? And there was no like Captain Save a Nigga White Man to make the workplace any less racist. No. But I challenge every single person to not to use Black History Month as a time to focus on Black pain and Black struggle. That is important. Educate yourself on what we've been through, but also educate yourself on what we've done. Because there's so much shit. You'd be surprised how much you owe to Black Americans and people from across the entire African diaspora. So educate yourself so you can pay proper respects. All right. On deck, we have Summertime. But give maximum love to the next poet coming up on stage. Give it up for Bambi.
All right, let's go.
What's up, y'all? I now know that vulnerability means can't make eye contact, covering your face for dignity's sake, talking through mouth filled with pillowcase. You say, you could have broken me then, torn me apart, and why didn't you? Vulnerability knocks me off my feet, specifically sung by Luther Vandross. Something about a gay Black man singing to a heart unknown just hits a little different. When he sings, I don't wanna bore you with it, what he means to say is, you could have broken me then, torn me apart. Isn't it the brink of something beautiful? The preface, to say so much and saying face lodged in pillow, do not make a burden out of me. I don't want to bore you with my troubles, but there's something about your love that makes me vulnerable. Take this caveat. Vulnerability has never taken space for love's sake. Rather, love is what blooms and vulnerability is the soil. My soil was malnourished. At some point, got more sunlight than could be respected, did indeed make me feel weak. Someone should have told Luther, there is no weakness in vulnerability, only strength. I do not listen to knocks me off my feet alone in bed. I listen to it with you in our kitchen. The smell of eggs wafting through the apartment, and we dance to that savory scent, pleading with our bodies to communicate all the things we thought we could only whisper shallowly, when bowing heads and closing eyes. Oh, but I love you, I love you, I love you. Find this song blasting at least once at the cookout. And so vulnerability must also smell like barbecue, ribs, burgers, and sweat. Must mean that being Black is to be vulnerable all the time. Exposed at every corner, our skin is love, blooms from this soil, but never weak. Someone should have told Luther there's no weakness in vulnerability. So when we fill our plates with potato salads next to cousins we haven't seen in a long while, what we do know is this feeling of being vulnerable without permission, unapologetically, something about surviving long enough to get the grill started.
knocks me off my feet to say, I don't want to bore you with it, but you will hear me. I don't want to have to do it to you, but it is what it is. I lied. I do listen to it alone in bed when I think of my mother. She'd play this, ask us who's singing, and there was a right answer. Mr. Luther Vandross, come correct. My mom's vulnerability looks like you could have broken me then, torn me apart, but I won't let you. Something about the brink of blooming, vulnerability with the self. A love from being unapologetic, savory, strong, something beautiful. Knocks me off my feet.
Gang, give it up for Bambi.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yes. All right. For a reference, Chardonnay got a 29.2. Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poet. Yes. Here we are all about the poetry, the community. Slam is just a way to trick a bunch of motherfuckers into a Zoom room to listen to live art. So yes, everybody here is amazing. For those of you at home, if you like anything you heard tonight, I encourage you to go donate to our GoFundMe. The link is in the comment section, or if it's not, it will be. But yeah, every contribution that you make really goes into making sure that we can continue doing these shows. We got like 6 people running 14 events a month. That is a lot of work. And we are adamant on making sure that we pay our artists, pay our organizers, pay our features, because we understand that at the end of the day, none of this shit matters if nobody can pay rent. None of this shit matters if people are going hungry, if our people are going hungry, if our community is going hungry and can't pay for shit. We don't believe that artists should be paid. We believe that it is our responsibility to pay our artists. And that's why we're built different. And that's why you should donate. Because all of this money goes right back into the community, right back into the artists, right back into making sure that you are able to experience the live art that is coming out of our community. Because I don't know about you, but I think we're pretty fucking dope. So speaking of dopeness, on deck, we have Sova. We give maximum love to the next person coming up on stage. Give it up for Summertime.
Let's go, Summertime.
Yeah.
You're good.
I can't hear you.
Perfect. Okay, so who's in the spirit of dragging some people tonight? All right, so I'm just gonna get started. To the single cishet white male about to let another compliment crawl from his teeth. I am not, nor have I ever been, into you. I have no interest in your carnal knowledge, no desire for acquiescing your fantasies. You sexualize my title with a smile full of canines, fangs hungry to hook flesh, to pin query between tooth and tongue, a sandpapery mass scraping at tender flesh with obscene boasts and empty promises. I do not care about how good you think you are. You would be better anywhere but in my presence, you lecherous heathen, drunk on your own ego, vomiting half-baked excuses when I call you out, leaving me hungover from repeating myself. No remorse, no apologies, merely wounded by a woman who refused your advances. When I smile, it's not for you. It is not an invitation nor siren's call for your best intentions. Understand this caveat. It is a warning. And if you do not heed, the last thing your ego is gonna see will be the backs of my teeth. Thank you.
Come on,
Bang.
babe.
Bang. Up for Summertime.
Come on,
Yes. Gang, 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 gang. And for reference, Bambi got a 29.6. Once again, fuck the scores. Give it up for the poetry, the bravery, the artistry that is being shown on this stage tonight. Gang. And speaking of artistry, I would like to give a shout out to our home venue, the Starry Plough. It has been a minute. It's been almost a whole year since we've done a show at the Starry Plough. I just want a hard kombucha and some garlic fries. Maybe some chicken wings.
Hey, host. I just want to come back when I come to California again. That's all I want.
Right.
We want Billy Tuggle in person.
We want Billy Tuggle in person. We want the plow back. And we encourage you to donate. I do believe they still have their GoFundMe up. Donate to their GoFundMe as well. You can also purchase gift cards to be used at a later date. And then just follow them on their social media to keep up for when they're going to be opening. We wouldn't be able to do this without the Starry Plough. The Berkeley Slam has been at the Starry Plough since 1998, since I was 2 years old. I was 2 years old when the Starry Plough was like Berkeley Slam, yeah. And they've been rocking out with us ever since. So I think that, like, I'm just saying that's 23 years of an amazing relationship, amazing art that has come out of that space. And it would really be a shame if that spot closed because of a global pandemic that is being handled terribly by both our federal, state, and local governments. Yay! Voting doesn't solve anything when everyone's incompetent. Moving on, so support the plow. Yeah, on deck, we're just gonna move right along. On deck, we have Bryce, but give maximum love to our next poet coming up on stage. Give it up for Silva.
One, as a child, clutching the crumpled candy-coated wrapping in my pockets, sucking on the last handful of sour, swallowing until sweetness taking over my searing tongue, I can no longer stomach the taste once comforting. Suppression of appetite, unfolding hunger to stranger, withheld affection to be bound to their gums for each of their teeth, their trauma, restraining mine, I am choosing to spit out survivor's guilt. To resist, to nourish, not numb, recognizing my body no longer starving too, still hiding. Pages torn from soft pedal books on a history of every abduction, searching for me, self-righteous men pillaging my name for spice. The caveat reveals the blandness, almost innocence, sincerity, and bipartisan virtue, friends discovering benefits charming. My forefathers a soft blanket, preservation of purity untouched, but I am to thank the predators, chewing slow enough for me to leap from their jaws. They chose to spare my body. What's left of victimhood, the map, its betrayal, saving my life. 3, ancestry. My mother's albums, worship, forgiveness without apology, backhanded gifts glossing over the way I'm still here. For my blood, its bitterness smiling through my grandmother's lips, translating my grandfather's silver spoon legacy of another good man. After ethnic cleansing, splitting Punjab, grooming children, coercive conversion, Bach, enough for Pakistan, my foremothers, caught between shifting the paradigm to strengthen, alive, to smooth out the creases, stitching my lineage, releasing with unwashed hands the refraction of photographs, reframed to answer their prayers. As a child still hiding from ancestry, clutching the crumpled pages torn from my mother's albums, worship, candy-coated soft pedal books on forgiveness without apology, wrapping the history of backhanded gifts in my pockets, every abduction searching for me, glossing over the way I'm still here, sucking on self-righteous men, pillaging for the last handful of my name, for my blood. It's sour, spice, bitterness, swallowing until the caveat, smiling through sweetness, reveals my grandmother's lips, taking over the blandness, translating my almost innocence, my grandfather's searing sincerity, silver tongue and spoon legacy. I can no longer stomach the bipartisan virtue of another good man. Aftertaste, friends discovering benefits, ethnic cleansing once charming, splitting Punjab, comforting my forefathers, grooming children, suppression of appetite, a soft blanket, coercive conversion, unfolding hunger to stranger, preservation of purity Bach, withheld affection to be untouched enough for Pakistan bound to their gums, but I am to thank my foremothers for each of the predators caught between their teeth, chewing slow, shifting their trauma enough for me to leap from the paradigm, restraining their jaws to strengthen mine they chose alive. I am choosing to spare my body, to smooth out the creases, to spit out what's left, stitching survivors of my lineage, releasing guilt, to resist victimhood with unwashed hands, to nourish, not numb the map, the refraction of photographs, recognizing my body, its betrayal reframed, no longer starving, saving my life to answer their prayers.
Give it up for Sova. Gang, 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 gang.
Oh my gosh.
Gang. Yeah. What was the last score? Okay, so Summer got a 29.4. Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poet, not the points. It's always about the poetry, not the points. And the bravery. It takes a lot to get up in a Zoom room full of strangers that is being live streamed to the entire world and spit your truth. So if we're not gonna give it up for the poetry, we are for damn sure gonna give it up for the bravery, because there's a reason I'm not signed up and that I'm hosting, because I'm not that vulnerable yet. Wow. All right. And for y'all sitting at home, if you like what you hear, once again, we have a GoFundMe. You can spend your money on that. If you have done your taxes, the tax season opens on Friday, which means they're going to be processing everyone who's done their early taxes. So if you've done your early taxes and received your tax return, don't forget about us, because I haven't forgotten about you. So on deck, why does that sound more threatening than I meant it? I am not gonna pop up in your home over a tax return. I am not that ghetto. Just a little ghetto, not a lot of ghetto. But on deck, we have Chef. We give maximum love to the next poet coming up on stage. Give it up for Bryce.
Go ahead, poet.
Gang, 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 gang.
Can you hear me?
You're good.
Cool. The letter S, glowing bright and full of possibility. On the campus of Sheridan College, a giant site for students seeking all sorts of schooling, it stands tall. This giant glowing colossus at the front steps of campus one fateful night. A shopping cart perched upon its top symbolized everything the future could ever promise. On that night, S stood for stars. I remember looking up at the night sky, sitting in a shopping cart stolen from the parking lot of Supermarket Suburbia. Only 130 kilometers away from home, but from here, the stars look different. Like they were orbiting the Earth in a new rotation, like they started painting the night sky a new shade of blue, like they were challenging someone to make them smile. I hear the twinkle of each constellation and the rickety twang of the shopping cart travel song. Each shake of its metal frame along pavement and pebbles stitches a new star in the sky, a new star to keep me safe until morning. I don't remember the songs we sang, the dancer and I, only the ring of the melody escaping our words, constellations bursting from our lips, shaping shooting star smiles. Did you know, if you listen closely, you can hear Orion's laughter as they pass? As the evening stretched into night and the Little Dipper scooped lower into the horizon, we welcomed the start of tomorrow, sharing plastic cups filled with the secret formula for adulthood and make-believe wrapped in one. That night, we knew every song that had ever been sung, every word that could ever be said, every move we could ever make, and all at once knew nothing at all. Looking up at the stars, we saw our whole futures ahead of us. Time and space were at our command. As the metal frame travel song neared the end of its final chorus, we could not leave the night until we had firmly planted our feet in tomorrow. We could not go out like a distant sun, but instead burn as bright as the stars that shaped the morning sky. A beacon must be made, like a lighthouse to guide our ship home. This basket that held our youth must be left where it could be found, guiding the next young traveler straight on till morning. Tonight, we stand on an S, Our hopes held high. We climbed to heights we'd never been before. We placed our shopping cart as high as it would go, which was 3 feet off the ground. A caveat, not necessarily on top of the S itself, but on the platform the giant S stood on. On that fateful night, we shot for the moon and landed amongst the stars. We fell asleep that night with mischief in our smiles, our dreams shaping futures, all our own. Thanks.
Gang, gang. Give it up for Bryce. Gang, 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 gang. And Soba got a perfect 30. Give it up for the poetry and not the points. Gang,
Yes.
gang. Gang, gang, gang. Let me refer back to my list because I just took a snap, so I can't remember shit. On deck, we have the last poet of the first round, Colin, but give maximum love to the penultimate poet, which I've been informed means second to last. I don't know because I can't read. Give it up for Chef.
Woo! Let's go, pen
poet.
You got this. Go, poet. Mic check.
We can hear you.
Dr. King once said, even if it falls your lot to be a street sweeper, go forth and sweep streets like Michelangelo painted pictures. Sweep streets like Beethoven composed music. Sweep streets like Shakespeare wrote poetry. Essentially be the best of whatever you are. Take pride in your work. Because depression come when ain't no pride left to take. 23 years ago, it fell my lot to be a nigga. 3 years ago, it fell to be a dropout. 2 years ago, it fell to be homeless. I fell a lot. I starved so much, my body turned broomstick, and cried so much, my body turned mop, till it fell my lot to be a poet. Never got to say that cliche shit, you know, my ink bleeds on page because my body couldn't spare the fluid. I slammed for food money. Sometimes in packed venues, most times in packed train cars, all times in ugly mirrors, trying to see myself be good at something, and I got damn good. Felt in love with my train car stage. Some days I wanted to stand on the tracks and give it a kiss at full speed. A Michelangelo to smile to my jaw that felt like graffiti. Hoping to be arrested because they served 3 squares a day in prison. I performed in only the most gentrified of areas to avoid anyone I knew. Type of places where everybody's favorite poem be them joints where a black boy dies. Symphonies of black death and white guilt made music to their ears, but even Beethoven knew nothing tickles the ivories like a black lay flat. A white woman hands me $1, turns to her daughter, tells her I'm the most talented bum she's ever seen. Better than every hoodlum rapper that begged her on this train yesterday, and I wondered how pretty it must have made boast of our death sound. Wondered what Shakespeare wrote about when his stomach hurt. Wondered if plucking bodies from pavement to make my meal make me a street sweeper or my vulture, but her thoughts were drowned out by the growl in my stomach saying, get through the poem. I turned my notebook pages back into the trees we hung from with the caveat that the fire would keep me warm at night. When I slept on that train, I kept my headphones in low enough to know when I wasn't alone, but loud enough to never feel like I was. They always wound up on one of them songs where the black boy dies or joins the gang. Takes all the pride he can before it runs out, hides it in the bullets because that's the only thing society will let him keep now. Was he perpetuating violence, and did he just want to survive as bad as I did? We put gun on page hoping to never be drawn on us because capitalism say the only way to win is to be better at killing niggas than we are. My stomach say, boy, get through the fucking poem before you got to start in it. My pride say, stop apologizing for staying alive because sometimes sweeping streets feel a lot like cleaning caskets. The first draft of this poem was a train car kiss. Suicide note written on an ugly mirror because depression came and wasn't no pride left to take, just a broken record of a song where the black boy dies. But in this moment, this slam, this fucking Zoom call, I'm the best of whatever I am, even if all that is alive.
Gang, gang, give it up for Chef.
Why am I crying in the Zoom call? Why am I crying in the Zoom call?
Yeah. These scores are incredibly close tonight. I know it's not about the scores, fuck the scores, but in the scores that we have fucked, they're incredibly close and they're all incredibly high. The only thing higher than these scores is me, Yeah, because Bryce got a 29.2. Again, fuck the scores. It's not about the scores. It's all about the poetry, the art, the bravery that is being displayed on this stage. Judges, I don't have to tell you to stay consistent. I think you know how to do that by now. Y'all been doing a good job about that. On deck, we have, oh, I'm so excited. We have our feature, Billy Tuggle. Whew, let me just bring it back in, because give maximum love for our last poet of the first round. Give it up for Colin.
Let's go, poet.
Can you hear me?
Best friend! Best friend!
No, we can't hear you. Yeah, we can.
Black boy walks down the street humming his favorite song, and white folks go pale, act like they've seen a ghost, someone dead, or at least supposed to be. They want to call an exorcist, but settle for the police instead. And watch how quickly my life can come into question, and how quickly a bullet becomes the answer. Everybody in this neighborhood is equipped with shotgun mouth and buckshot teeth, so I've not encountered anyone who hasn't fixed their mouth to call me dead. And now, even their apologies start to feel more like a eulogy. Their guilt just another way to quell a revolution, like they can just cry themselves into allyship. But my mom always taught me not to trust someone who only offers me remorse. Sometimes an apology is an act of violence, or at least a way to erase it. Like I know white people will apologize. The caveat is they expect a pat on the back and a plate at the cookout, but I've been bitten by enough of these snakes to know better than to stick my hand out to feed them. The ones that don't bite become onlookers to this assault. And you know, it takes an ungodly amount of privilege to be a bystander to racism, to see my value only in hindsight. A white woman watches my life questioned in front of the house my granny died in and offers tears as a defense for her passiveness. It makes me wonder how many white people will cry at my funeral without acknowledging how their hands helped close the casket. Yes, Becky's audacity fired the first bullet, but Susan's silence fired the second. Her apology fired the third. Everybody in this neighborhood is a part of the same firing squad. Mouths wide open with trigger finger tongues locked and loaded, all of them aimed at me.
Gang, gang,
come on.
Gang. Give it up for Colin. Gang, 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 gang. Okay. Now that all the poets are gone, I can just say earlier, before the show, my fire alarm kept going off even though there was no fire. And now I know why, because everybody brought that motherfucking heat. I'm actually scared for this second round. I'm actually really fucking scared. Like, I don't know what to expect. I was floored each and every poem. Wow. But yeah, for reference, Chev got a perfect 30. Gang, motherfucking gang. Yeah, nothing more to say except for the scores don't matter, but you know, the scores don't matter, but I like the scores tonight. Tino's stressed because the scores are hella close. And there's already one tie. Let's see how many we'll have. Let's stress them out. And for reference, Colin got a 29.2. There are several ties. There are several ties. It's going to be a nightmare for Tino. And that's how you know I'm going to be happy. All right, but while Tino figures out the logistical nightmare that is going to be the second round, I'm so excited to introduce this feature outside of being probably one of the best people I know in slam. I'm just gonna say that. The level of integrity in which that's like in his poetry, in his organizing, just in his views, I really respect him. Our feature tonight is Billy Tuggle. I'm gonna read his bio because it's really dope. Besides being one of Chicago's most decorated poets in slam, period, Billy Tuggle also carries the odd distinction of being the Berkeley Slam's most booked touring feature. He wrote this just for the show, yes. Since last visiting you, he has been published, among other places, in a banned book, Not My President, Thought Crime Press. Been nominated for Best of the Net 2020, yes. Released the chapbook Incantation, and twice won the Chicago Poetry Pentathlon. Wow. He would rather be doing this at Starry Plough than from his space, but shit happens and he loves you anyway. Okay, so you see why I love Billy Tuggle so much. His website is sanctuary360.wordpress.com. You can find him on Facebook and IG at Backpack Files. I need y'all to give a loud, ratchet Berkeley Slam welcome to our feature tonight, Billy Tuggle.
Oh, well, come on. Yes.
What's up, fam?
Let's do this. What's up?
So before I jump into this, for those who don't know, for the uninitiated, the Berkeley Slam is literally my second home for performance poetry. In the workshop, we talked about Kanye West, The College Dropout. The day The College Dropout came out, I was getting on a plane to come to the Bay Area and slam at Berkeley for the second time. And I actually made semifinals in 2004, before I actually made a team at home in Chicago. So the Starry Plough is sacred ground. This theoretic space is sacred space. So I'm always happy to be here. Let's do poems. Let's do poems. This is called Cursing. As long as you are one to ignore legislative underhand and law enforcement overreach, the brown people's communities, may you have diarrhea in every traffic jam. May toilet paper always stick to your stupid ass, one mutter of not all cops, and may your ATM card malfunction with a 938 bounce. May the print you read grow smaller, farther, and more faint. May you enter a poetry slam, get a time penalty, and choke on it. May you be the father, or the mother, or the keeper, or the loser, as long as you fix fingers to type, curl lip and tongue to utter asinine as all lives without termination, indictment, conviction. May your hair hurt and teeth itch, nails dissolve, taste buds erupt in boils. Upon first bite and swallow, may your coffee and muffin turn to kitchen cleanser and steel wool. With every detraction from the conversation, from such mythologies as black on black crime, may you find yourself chained to a hot rock on the slipperiest slope of an overdue volcano. May your ancestors disown you. May time travel be invented to undo you, until you recognize the disproportionate number of brown lives disrupted by the violent notion that everyone of melanin is a threat, until you bring empathy and compassion to the discussion, reason and construction. I wish you spontaneous combustion, and your children and your children's children and your children's children's children, etc., so forth. Ashe, Salah, and fuck y'all. Thank you. So yeah, I'm into calling on ancestors, and I'm into calling ancestors in many different ways throughout poems. I see y'all, the ending. I had to find some kind of way to like dismount on that, but I like that. I believe in calling spirits through poetry. This piece, I had the pleasure of having it published. There is a journal called The Knight's Library. If you're not familiar with it, it's online. You can find their Facebook page and it will open you up to their online journal. They published the Black Writers issue in January, and on the day that it was published, This poem was included. This is about, I just turned 50 years old this past weekend. This poem is about a trip that I took to New Orleans half my life ago with my best friend and big brother, who is no longer here. This poem is about myself and this cat. This is me much, much, much younger. This is my daughter's godfather. He is no longer with us. Falling off the city of New Orleans. The city of New Orleans is the nightly round trip made by Amtrak between Chicago and New Orleans along the historic Illinois Central Railroad. We could have flown. Some felt planes were high style and the classiest, but even before the days of shoes off, I felt rushed and leered at in airports. A good road trip is a good road trip, no doubt, but with JT, the company, great, but this was vacation. Let someone else do the work. Taking the train was rolling in with the party from Chicagoland to the Bayou, cocktail in hand. Tourista come documentarian. After an all-nighter of whiskey and backgammon, I awoke in my seat with some rare blues in my coffee, followed by a swamp of a Bloody Mary. When I fell off the city of New Orleans, it was at the speed of saunter, at the touch of vernal equinox. Carnival beads littered trees, left post parades and pomp, powdered sugar dusted hello smiles. You fall off the city of New Orleans into an electricity so deliberate that the sun, the moon, the water take their sweetest time to shine, reflect, dance in tongues, twined in French and colonialism. Falling off the city of New Orleans means an alligator po' boy and pronouncing Pontchartrain. Mouthfuls of exotica for a Chicago boy. Falling off the city of New Orleans leaves a warm shiver of Madame Laveau's spell casting in your tarot deck. Seeing ghosts awaken in your incense smoke is one thing, but to have them ask you to join them, falling off the city of New Orleans is falling in the path of the party, of working evening ladies and witch doctor pimps, frosty, spicy, sometimes rude, many grown-up beverages in the street, many shades of magic in the street, worship calls in brass and funk bouncing across the night. Being lucky enough to fall off the city of New Orleans is enough luck to walk off a riverboat, $360 sweated off of a blackjack dealer to pay for your traveler's lodge. Begin to pick yourself up, sharpen up, amble to the train station, wondering when your brother and you will do it again. Falling off the city of New Orleans means carrying the night and Memphis and the Mississippi River and the South Side and game and ink and taste in your stash. Saddled to a rowdy iron horse, trumpet player in the saddle. JT and me can't hear come back over the brass ringing in our ears. The gumbo still working these guts so sweetly, the voodoo telling after bedtime stories of bittersweet Americana, but we still reveled and reveled, and the swamps can't wash it away. Thank you. If you email me and you cash at me $10, BillySin71, I will send you a copy of Incantation. There's a copy without the writing all over it. It's got that first poem cursing in it, among other things. Shipping free in the United States. We can negotiate if you're somewhere outside of the United States. Enough with the commercial. Slam poets. The second half of the slam is coming up. This is for all of the slam poets. If you're in the slam tonight, if you're watching, or what have you. Martial verbalist, from Bruce Lee to the slam poets. 1, actualize yourselves. Life is best lived, not conceptualized. Contemplation implies distance between subject and self. Even failure can be glorious. Choose faith in yourselves. Only you create the impossible. Fluidity is the way to an empty mind. 2, we all have time, but once it's passed, it's gone forever. In a process of becoming, be open to uncertainty. Open up, flow in the living moment. Timeless, free, complete, now is indivisible. 3. Balance your thoughts with action. Running water never grows stale. If you follow patterns, you are following shadows. You are not understanding yourself. Learn and adapt the form, then build your own and let it grow. Be formless, shapeless like ink through the fibers of the page. If nothing within stays rigid, outward things will disclose themselves. Truth, like language, is living. Here lies perception. 4. Every poet is a sacrificial poet. 5. Everyone wants to live, but never accept the art of dying. Free your ambitious minds. Forget winning and losing. Forget pride and pain. Let your peers scream until they choke while you recite intense whispers. Let critiques smash into your intellect and you break their heart. Let you grip their heart and them your spirit. Do not be concerned with escaping safely, poets. Lay your lives before them. Do I have time for 2 more? Two more.
Billy, you got time for like 2 more if you want.
Let's see. I want to do. Yeah, okay. Dos más, por favor. Let's do this. If you can dig deep into, jump in a time machine and go way back into the early 90s, there was a time where am I? Here's a picture of me and Deborah Harry when I worked at Tower Records. The picture I showed earlier, there was a time when I actually fronted bands, and I thought that I was going to be like Fishbone and Corey Glover and all that. And then I found performance poetry and completely changed my life. But a couple of years before that, I fronted a little band called Grace Under Pressure. This is called Obsidian Weight Champions. Obsidian, a volcanic rock, technically glass, can be as brittle as brilliant, very heavy in large deposits, craft blade dangerous when fresh, too hot to handle, and sharpened to surgical precision. These obsidian weight champions will bring a rock, massive and iridescent, edges so sharp that turntable stylus becomes weaponized, cuts that your local college DJ can't resist. Broadcasts gonna come with warning disclaimers. Gonna sound like earth heaving, grace under pressure until magma and steam create vent the hard way. Megaton blast, radiation and fallout encore. Gonna sound like Shango shaming the devil at a block party at the crossroads. This band is live, alligator in your gumbo, rocket fuel in the whiskey, locomotives revving underground, melting the track in their wake. This band gonna sound like Great Migration through Marshall Stacks. This band gonna be djembe, DJ, and effect pedal, gonna bleed unadulterated acid soul, hip hop even if ignored the beat drop, jazz finger solos versus blues tempos, gut bucket woofers, and gospel tweeters. This band gonna be the baddest, like reckless kids at recess cussing with the motherfucking bullhorn. This band gonna escape every attic rehearsal with the taste for riot, the fuse lit by funk, hit the switch, hit the goddamn pit. This band gonna sound like a frontman's last 100 spent on a long distance audition after flunking 2 midterms. You think you can see us in a battle of the bands? You got a problem on your hands. Come and get some of this shrapnel and sway and all this angst. Stomp and sway and gravity. See a griot reading news and fortunes in the motion of the mosh, sounding like free-form poetry with ancestors whispering through the monitors. Hit him again, my child. Hit him again. This band will accompany Funeral Pyre and Phoenix Rising, gonna sound like sub-Saharan diasporic litanies and anthems. This band gonna sound like lift every voice and sing, chant up the sound, Babylon, your throne, Aguan down. This rock, a fragile danger, Gotta be handled with love. We arrive not just to rock a party and in all stages of matter, sweating electric current through dark matter, keeping current on dark matters, keeping current while in the dark matters. Like all descendants of Sister Rosetta, the Obsidian weights will remix time, shred space, scratch surface to core, ignite the biggest bang with talking drum, lightning fury, and kinetic coda. Thank you. I'm gonna do one more.
Yeah.
Uno más.
Yes.
Thank you all again. The Starry Plough is sacred ground to me. The Berkeley Slam is all of the Bay Area is my second home. So support all of their events once the doors get back open. As soon as I saw the article about the plow back in the spring, I immediately gave up money, and money is tight as fuck for everybody right now. I gave up mine, and I've come out and featured and left a bunch of my feature money at the bar. I implore everybody, even if you're not in the Bay, from the Bay, support this reading, support RichOak. Funny story, 4 years ago, a snowstorm kept me out of all of my Bay features, which is literally the last time I was supposed to feature at Berkeley and all over the Bay Area. Support the Oakland Slam, support RichOak, support everything between Arcata and Santa Cruz, because that's all my peoples, every last one of y'all.
How can we support you?
Thank you. I love you all. One more, and I'm gonna kick it and watch the slam. From the Graffiti Monologues, a series of poems, a long series of poems that goes back to probably the last couple of times I've been out there, but this is one that I had not brought to stage a whole lot. Again, thank you for having me. If you want books, hit me up. The Cash App is Billy since 71. Look, I'm even wearing my old Pirate Cat t-shirt. Subway and Elevated. The craft of motion tagging is a dance with gravity, a battle with inertia itself, rubber wrist, granite shoulder. When the train hits that curve at 30 miles per hour, knees bent, lean with the rumble and sway, maintain your stance and apply that mean sig even as the operator applies brakes. Olympic balance beam shit. This craft is muscle memory, guiding perfect penmanship even when the lights go out, block stars go all av, trying to paint the moon. These are the fabled midnight marauders. Before the cans and the walls, this autograph session is the meet and greet just outside your bedroom window. This wide tips and stickers ritual is so that you get acquainted with the style. See, we don't want to blow your minds all at once. I know. It's a stupid thing to get locked up for. But I know that it's a stupid thing to lock a kid up for when they're trapped on the outside. Tell me, what do you know about I can't do this at home and they don't give a shit at school? This is how my homies exercised fear of being locked out of homes that families could barely afford to live in. This is the release from everyday stress from art professors saying, your abstracts contain too much city concrete. Motherfucker, I'm from the city. My name is all I have. This is meditation. Your drab walls need to be covered in promise. This is thank you or middle finger to the art critics. Rock the glove that fits. Here is where the criminals meet the artists with propellant under their tongues and fistful of style, all while using 360 degrees of peripheral vision to scope out rival crews and undercovers looking to blow up the spot. Keep charging them with petty crime. Tax dollars and escalating fares maintain this noise pollution, these alloyed carriages, all this iron and sweat. Some citizens autograph it a little every day. It's a better view than advertising and traffic. You're welcome. Thank you very much, Berkeley Slam.
Gang, thank you. Thank you. Damn. Wow, everybody give it up for Billy Tuggle. Damn.
Calm down. Speechless.
Thank you very much.
I see why my fire alarm was going off earlier.
Yeah.
It was a warning. We thought there was no fire, but the fire was coming from inside of the house.
From the south side of Chicago.
Mm-hmm. Telling you know what? Don't sleep on Chicago. Chicago musicians, Chicago artists, Chicago writers. I don't know what they put in your water. Whatever milk y'all got out there, but y'all strong out there.
We try, and we try to keep it generational. So
that's
you know,
what I really appreciate. It feels like there's a lot of that intergenerational support, that mentorship that's really necessary to keep a community not just like going but healthy.
By and large, you'll hear some funky shit, and we had some funky shit. When Slam had most of its funky shit, I guess between 2013 and 2016. And some of us, well, 2015, but some of us came out on this side of it, and I'm proud to have been in it as long as I have. I used to like really brown man, black man blush when people would use the L word at me, but now I want to hand it to other people. I want to hand the legend word to like Stephen Willis and, you know, Melanie George DeSellis and Rick Vasquez. I want to hand off. It's awkward, so I'm fucking handing it to y'all. Go get it. But I'm here if you need me.
Yeah.
But
sure.
also, I'm hip hop. So when the slams start up and I see y'all at nationals, don't take an ass whooping from a 50-year-old too personal. All right.
Look.
That was nothing but a word. Okay.
Because I still gets it in.
Look, I've been scrapping my whole life. I ain't lost a fight on a stage or in the street since 2005.
In an alternate universe, I would have been a Bay poet, and I probably would have been on teams with all of everybody that came before y'all, and then fighting to get on teams with y'all now.
Oh
For
my
real.
goodness. Yeah.
Bayer's not ready for that.
Thank you again.
Oh my goodness. I would be honored to be on the scene with you. Wow, thank you so much, Billy. I think all we can say is wow. And yeah, I guess we should. All right, brought it back. Censored myself. Whew. That was an amazing feature. Thank you so much. We're gonna move into the second round. So remember when I said like there was hella fire on the stage and the scores were hella close and like there's gonna be hella ties and I hope there's hella ties that's gonna stress Tino out? Yeah, well that's exactly what happened. We have so many motherfucking ties, we gotta take everybody in the second round. So this is iWhips now. Welcome to your first iWhips bout. I am your host. Please don't, is iWhips trademarked? I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Please don't sue me, because if you sue me, for what money? For what money? Please. For what money are you going to sue me for? Like, we ain't got that. We ain't got that. I ain't got that. We ain't got that. Just, we ain't even making money on it. But this is the death match. So we're gonna be going in reverse order of appearance. Gang. So if you are first, you are now last. If you are last, you are now first. Isn't that a prophecy that we heard in the Bible? I don't know. I'm not preaching or anything. I'm just saying. Shit be weird.
You're just very holy-like.
Thank you. I put the hoe in holy. I'll say that much. But the poets will be reading in this order. We got Colin, then we got Chev, then we got Bryce, then we got Sova, then we got Summer, then we got Bambi, then we got Chardonnay. Gang. Okay, so we are just gonna hop right in it. No sacrificial poet. We're not gonna spill any blood on this stage. So on deck we got Chef. We'll give maximum love to our first poet in the second round. Give it up for Colin.
Woo! Can you hear me?
That's
Indeed.com.
right. Yes.
Okay. I'm tired of white people complaining about reverse racism. So to respond, I've decided to actually be reverse racist. For example, when I see white people walking down the block, I cross the street. I lock my car door when they walk past my window, don't know what they will take from you. When you leave their valuables out, when you leave your valuables out in the open, like what if they want to shoot me or rob me of my rights? So I tightly clutch my bag in the elevator, on the bus, or the subway. When we make eye contact, I make my lips disappear just to show them how much their skin makes mine crawl and they never notice a thing. Like, I don't think they would know racism even if you called them a nigger, and trust me, I've tried that too. The point being that they don't notice the racism because they never had to look out for the racist, never had to learn to tell the difference between the sound of a locked door and a cocked gun, of a clutched bag and an itchy trigger finger. There is no difference in the lipless smile behind each. The difference between racism and reverse racism is the element of fears. So what exactly were you afraid of, Chad? When the black kid called you mayonnaise boy in elementary school? Did the chorus of laughter feel like a firing squad? Do you still wake up at night in a cold sweat, neck still hot from the burn of a lucid rope, a nightmare of your body swaying through the breeze in front of a black crowd screaming, mayonnaise boy, mayonnaise boy, mayonnaise boy? If so, you should probably get some therapy and thug that shit out like the rest of us, but we both know that this has nothing to do with fear and everything to do with your ego, that you are never afraid of the black boy, just being less than the black boy, being less than on top, toppling down the rest. And when you make it there to the top, walking down the street to your newly gentrified apartments, I'll be waiting for you with a neighborhood watch hat and a flashlight. Like, what you doing here, boy? I ain't seen your kind in this neighborhood, boy. We don't like you around here, boy. Don't cry. This isn't Uno. You don't get to reverse your race card. Just pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Be glad we haven't cut them yet. Feel the sting of having to look up at yet another black boy looking down at you. Feel the stench of humiliation burn your nose each time you breathe, and realize through all this, you are still breathing. So it can't be that bad, right?
Gang, give it up for the poet. Gang, judges. Send those scores to Childish Gambino. He is awaiting your scores. You might have heard him in the background say no, but it's Black History Month. Can't nobody but God tell me no. So on deck, we have Bryce, but give maximum love to the next poet coming up in the second round. Give it up for Shad.
Yes. Let's go.
Mic check.
Hi.
We can hear you.
And the gun says, some days I want to paint the sky red. Make crimson crime scene of this country and send everything white or blue back to the stars. I be the pole and flagpole. My mouth a black hole trying to escape and get turned into light. Some days I hate this skin. Dark is the past that stole my sleep. It was 2015. Boy had swastikas for hands and a lynch mob on his breath. He took me to a church in Charleston and I could immediately smell the burning. When they prayed for him, I prayed for them. But me and God ain't never spoke the same language. Probably saw his reflection in them pews and hate his skin too some days. Boy grabbed me by throat and trigger. I tried to jam, held my breath trying to say by time for one of the miracles they keep singing about, but he just kept squeezing. He just kept squeezing and I remember their screams. Remember walls splattered the color, make America great again. His smile, bright as the sun of Uncle Sam. Twisted as a trail of shell casings wrapped around their outlines. They say light can't escape a black hole, but if you ever watched the soul exit a bullet wound, but you just can't do that, right? We got laws, right? Like the Bill of Rights say, Second Amendment, say bear arms, but never accountability. So I take the blame. He take the Burger King. White conservatives say he did nothing wrong. White liberals say it was all my fault. And how both call it black on black crime. Call me loose cannon. White liberals say we need gun control. White conservatives say it was all our fault and you already took our slaves away. Once I sit there, peace until triggered, still until triggered. But what is it to be black in America but to have everyone ignore your triggers? I sat for 5 years in lockup. They call me evidence. Proof that black people light can't escape if you put it in a hole. Treat me like I ain't built this country, like I ain't fight their wars. Even the ones on me gets they no honor when you are the metal, the steel, the stolen. When you see a reflection in every crime scene, too, you hate your skin too. Do you know what it's like to always fit the description? For your triggers to be so absent of color, they damn near invisible. Black folk didn't have PTSD for a long ass time, but we don't get to call it a mental health issue. We just call it another persona slam poem. They load me with pills, I mean bullets. Or hoping enough will make me back into something they can use because God made man how he see himself, but man made me how he see God. It is 2020. No one adopts me at the police auction. I get repurposed as a service weapon. A cop with swastikas for hands and a lynch mob on his breath breaks into a home in Louisville, points me at a black woman lay asleep in her bed, and I shake, hoping maybe this time I can make a difference and the officer gets punished. For every bullet that misses, when they marched in the street for her, I wondered, is a movement caused by a nervous arm or a nervous system?
Gang, gang. Give it up for the poet. Brah, brah, brah. Gang, 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 gang. Give it up for Chev.
Holy shit.
Can y'all hear me? Because I don't hear nobody giving it up.
We're speechless.
I'm giving it up inside. It's inside of me. I'm giving it all the way. It's all the way up.
Sorry, I'm eating fries. Sorry.
Okay. I just had to make sure y'all was okay. Like technical difficulties or something. Do you have my scores?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna stall while Tino gets the scores. While Tino's getting the scores.
Hey, didn't someone make a donation?
Oh yeah. Shout out to Daria for donating to our GoFundMe. If you would like a shout out and to be just as cool as Daria, you should donate to our GoFundMe. And it looks like Colin got a 28.9. Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poet. Gang, gang, gang. Gang, gang.
All right.
All right. So on deck, we have Sova, but give maximum love for our next poet coming up on stage. Give it up for Bryce.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Coming of age. We are sitting under the streetlight in front of my house. Having spent the drive home talking about memories he has from when he was young, we now sit in silence. I grab my things and say, "Looks like we're here." "Thanks, Dad." "Drive safe." As I step out of the car, he repositions his hands on the wheel to say, "Let me know about next week." His sentence lingering in the 6 feet between us, long enough for me to close the door and go inside. The age I stopped kissing my father goodbye was some point along the road leaving my youth. Past signs of affection flying so fleeting they go without saying, my lips stop greeting the stubble on his cheeks. At the same age, the sound of a radio fills the silence of no longer saying words not found in Bob Cajun. The age I stopped kissing my father is somewhere between Queen Street and Kissing Girls Boulevard, when locker room talk stops being about the game and we focus only on the victories. With fists held straight as my spine, I prove that I am not a coward, lips sealed unspeaking. She does not hear the word no. The age I stopped kissing my father is far behind. After I learned to fear my rearview mirror, I look only for what comes next down the road. Ignoring any indications that could be something more, I keep the road practical. Don't swerve, that's irrational. Never ask for directions because that's what's logical. As I drop my things in my room, I realize I've left my phone in his car. On the edge of my seat, somewhere between a house and a home, I go back to the front door knowing he is already gone. I take my phone from a Facebook audio call, and 20 minutes later, he is sitting under the streetlight in front of my house once more. I take my phone from his hand and say, "Thanks, Dad. Drive safe." He repositions his hands on the steering wheel to say, "No sweat. Let me know about next week. Years later, I have pinned down on a map all the points along the way where we got lost. But at the age I stopped kissing my father, I still can't figure out. At what point did being a man matter more than being his son? Thanks.
Gang. Gang. Give it up for the poet.
Yep.
Yeah. Lit. And Chef got a 29.6. Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poet, the artistry, the bravery that has been shown on this stage tonight. Woo.
Bravo. Excellent.
It's just excellence all around. On deck, we have Summertime, but give maximum love to our next poet coming up in the second round. Give it up for Solva.
Let's go. Go in.
1. I've always been described as an extension of someone else, deteriorating to protect them as they watch me disappear, disposable, liable. My identity is housing every narcissist gutting me. I was planted to uproot myself first, question my safety without belief, the child within me, and I for all the shadows we bloom through, the rubble we are sprouting from, every seed we will spread without permission might actually deserve peace, without being the first body surrendering to sacrifice to. Fractioned, duct tape wrapped around the broken pipeline, conceal another ashtray he refuses to admit he repurposed, will never grow up. He blames me, the erosion of adhesive, a split connection, trauma still hissing from its edges, the pressure of an entire bloodline denying my entry, my father, with their cigarette left burning, I will never hold my innocence again. Evolving the resilience, I choke on the exhale. Distance between spark to filter. I am not brave enough to clear the smoke without fanning the flames. Find the audacity to end this alone, hold space for time. Set out everything and grieve with some chance I will make it. 3. Scapegoat. The peak of rejection, replacing my spine with her lungs. Carry her survival just to shift the odds on my own failing band-aid. Power of attorney, powerless to braided half-empty tanks, pulling the plug. With fists too loose to untangle every injection. Hazardous to my veins, my mother, birthing another tragedy, the residue in my palms, my remedy. Her symptoms left behind, released. Her memories fantasize, my flashbacks, wasteland, split earth without apology. Fall apart, chip away at this endless cycle, my spirit aches. Once we bury her, it will all be over. I will have nothing left to heal. I've always been described as duct tape, wrapped around the peak of rejection, an extension of the broken, replacing someone else. My spine, pipeline, deteriorating to conceal another ashtray with her lungs, protect them as he refuses to carry her. They admit he repurposed survival just to watch me disappear. He'll never shift the odds. Disposable, grow up on my own, liable. He blames me, a failing band-aid. My identity is the erosion of adhesive. Power of attorney, housing a split connection, powerless to every trauma, still braided, narcissist hissing from half-empty tanks, gutting me, its edges, the pressure of pulling the plug. I was planted to uproot an entire bloodline with fists too loose to untangle myself first, denying my entry. Every question, my father, another injection, hazardous to my safety, cigarette left my veins without burning my belief I will mother the child within me. Never birthing another tragedy. And I hold the residue for my innocence in my palms again, all the shadows evolving my remedy. We bloom through the resilience, her symptoms left behind, the rebel I choke on released. We are the exhale, her memories fantasized, sprouting distance between flashbacks from spark to filter. I am not wasteland. Every seed brave enough to split earth, we will clear the smoke without apology. Spread without fanning the flames, fall apart without permission, find the audacity to chip away at this. Might actually end this endless cycle alone, deserve peace. Hold space for my spirit, time aches without being the first to doubt everything. Once we bury her body and grieve, it will all be over. Surrendering the slim chance, I will have nothing left to sacrifice. I will make it to heal.
Oh,
Gang. Gang. Give it up for Solva. Gang, 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 gang. Wow. Okay, and it looks like Bryce got a 28.6. Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poetry, never the points. Gang, gang. Wow, this has been an amazing night. We still have like half a list left. But before we continue, I just want to give a shout out to our GoFundMe once again. It's in the comment section. You should look for it. If you hear anything you like tonight, donate. If you can't donate, share it. Every little bit helps. It goes right back into making sure that we can pay poets, pay our features, pay our organizers, and just, you know, make sure that, like, if we really say that artists should be paid, it's not that artists should be paid, it's we should be paying artists. It's our responsibility to do that as an organization and as a community. So that being said, donate, donate, donate. And on deck, we have Bambi, but give maximum love to the next poet coming up on stage. Give it up for Summertime.
Right. Woo!
Thank you, thank you. Mic check, please.
Can hear you.
Yep.
Thank you. You know, sometimes I wish I had the confidence of a cishet single white male hitting on a married woman in a bar. Like, not the audacity and sheer disregard for other people, just the confidence to so boldly blaze into a situation I have neither the qualifications nor skills to succeed at, and doing it anyways. It starts off innocently enough, casual conversation, a compliment here or there, nothing too off-putting. You know, once in a rare while, it's even flattering. My personal favorite. You have the body of a goddess and face of a queen. Then the fire hose comes out, the only thing that's on their mind. For instance, I would be on you like white on rice, says the drunken frat boy coworker I give a ride home, one hand with a teetering paper plate of macaroni salad and the other gripping a football like a hard-won hunting trophy. Please, doctor, begs my ex's best friend as he laments his lack of sexual satisfaction, as if pleading for me to debase my hard-earned title for his fantasies is something I should be grateful for. If we could have sex and nothing would change, I'd be okay with that, he states as casually as if reporting the day's weather, taking it further by trying to convince me that straddling him is of mutual interest. Always the prey and never the predator. Their pernicious commentary eating at my temple like termites. My flesh becomes meal for carnivores who only see me as an animal. Licking their lips in anticipation, little do they know what lies before them. Each testing bite is filled with the ichor of nightlock. My skin no longer supple beneath their teeth. Calloused beneath their claws, they find I'm no longer worth the effort. Because I refuse to be soft for predators. I refuse to be malleable to their whims under the fallacy that it's the polite thing to do. No, I am no object. I am a woman grown. Thank you.
Gang, give it up for Summertime. Gang. All right, and Sova got a 29.6. Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poet. Never the points. Lit. We're just gonna keep it moving on deck. We have Chardonnay, our last poet of the night, but give maximum love for our penultimate poet. And I did look it up. It does mean second to last. Bambi.
Yeah, let's go.
I like her hat.
Mic check.
We can hear you.
I'd just be smoking. Watching the sky touch the earth again, this is the closest thing I've ever felt to dead and alive at the same time. My grandma says God be with me when I am lonely, and I shouldn't smoke. But yesterday over trigger warning, rape mention. Oh, I forgot to say that. Sorry. Can I start over? Is that okay? Cool. I'd just be smoking. Watching the sky touch the earth again, this is the closest thing I've ever felt to dead and alive at the same time. My grandma says God be with me when I am lonely, and I shouldn't smoke. But yesterday over breakfast, she casually asked about the boy who raped me over a couch, and I say, I'm exhausted with encountering his name. The past, present, and future all look the same to me, Grandma. I'm still the me who was curdled into a walking dead by the hand of the boy rewarded for my sacrifice, the same me who'll be smoking in my backyard and who will eventually forget the stench of his sweat, replace it with lavender-scented candles and healing. But today, I'm smoking, watching the sky again. This is the closest I've ever felt to God, you see, exhausted. Encountering the past, present, and future off the tongues of those who have never touched the timeline. I'm still the me who was and who will be. The smell of weed that tastes my septum. And eyes out of focus, mind everywhere else. I'm alone when I am alone, you see. And when I'm not, I am bulletproof punctuation mark. The end that never gets hit harder than it's already been thrown. I am the whir of the fan and the rumbling of train tracks, the silence that don't know how to shut up when you want it to and is too quiet when you need something to listen to. When I'm not alone, I'm far away, smoking and drinking enough to make my tits look bigger, enough to keep getting tattoos so as to have something that won't leave and paints me the color of cooler than him. You see, I want to feel free, Grandma. I want to cry for a long time when you tell me not to, expect an answer when you gave me a zipper for my mouth. See, nothing about my body feels like mine. Even when I'm alone, which is often, which is even with you, which is especially then, it's never on purpose. Call me Father to all the things that are living and forgotten. See, God is neither dead nor alive, and my company is kept by this blunt. Call it a christening. Call it a funeral for the breathing lumps and bumps and pieces of me that somehow survived that night. Find me in the backyard, slipping away, because I just need a smoke break.
Gang, give it up for Bambi. Yeah. All right. And it looks like Summertime got a 28.2. Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poetry, not the points. The poetry, not the points. If you're at home, do it with me. The poetry, not the points. The poetry, not the points. Lit. So on deck, we have finding out who won cash money. Yeah, there's money involved. I know I've been mentioning paying motherfuckers. We're gonna get to the part where we pay motherfuckers. It's not like I'm lying. But I need y'all to give maximum love, almost as if they were the first poet at the beginning of the slam, and they kind of were. But give maximum love for our last poet of the night. Give it up for Chardonnay.
Woo! Let's go. Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
A series of lessons from male friends I've lost because I have big titties, and being non-binary doesn't mean anything when your friends identify your body as a hunting ground. 1, men who love big tits the most are the bottom of the barrel. They see my breast as porn, or me as a prostitute, or me as their mom who didn't breastfeed. They date people with bodies they respect and look at me as sexual relief. Whether my body was seen or touched or not, these friendships shattered when they realized they had to see me as a person. 2, men will befriend you for access to your body. They love tight hugs with titties on their chest. This fueled my fear of platonic intimacy. When you're 6'2", you get used to those who look into your breast and not your eyes. Eye contact doesn't work when it's one-sided. Men who don't look up to those with feminine bodies are the most excited to objectify them, waiting for a chance to strip you of your gender and its clothing and name you after your body. I have never lost a friendship with a queer woman or femme because they saw me naked or came on my tongue, but I have lost friendships over a literal tit pic with men. None of these are exaggerations. They called my body instead of my name and were ashamed when I left. A too late realization that having me in their life was a gift, and titties are the smallest thing I have to offer. Thank you.
Gang, give it up for Chardonnay.
Come on now.
Yes.
It's snatched. It's snatched. Lord.
Baby Thee, can I get the scores?
1 second. I am in.
Do you need me to be Russia and Stalin? Yes, okay. Call me Joseph because I'm stalling. So if you would like to know about other shows in the Bay Area, I'm the guy to talk to because I run a lot of them. Yeah, Berkeley Slam, we are part of a larger organization called RichOak Events. RichOak Events puts on 3 literary events a month. The Berkeley Poetry Slam, every Wednesday, right here, wherever you're watching. We also put on the Oakland Poetry Slam every 3rd Tuesday on the Oakland Slam Facebook page, Instagram page, Twitter page, and youtube.com/Bay Poetry Night. And you can also catch our open mic, the Alchemy open mic, every 1st and 3rd Saturday on Instagram. The tag is @RichOak Alchemy. All of those events have free, open to the public writing workshops led by featured poets, community members, organizers, before the show at 7 p.m. PST. But I don't expect you to remember that. So what I do expect you to do is follow us so you can keep in touch, so you know what happens. And now I have a score. Bambi got a 29.1. Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poet, not the points. The poetry, not the points. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I did that. But yes, and I am just waiting, I guess, for other scores.
Can I just say, I love all of you. This poetry was amazing tonight.
Yes. Oh my God. Now that it's over. Oh my God. Y'all. Y'all. What we not about to do is act like everybody in here was a fire. Oh my God. Like we had 14 amazing poems plus an amazing feature. I don't know what it is about. I don't know. Is there like, what's going on with the stars?
It's something in
my astro. Mercury's in micro braids, but I needed to get them taken down right now.
On Thursday.
We got a full moon on Thursday?
New moon.
A new moon. See, that's what it is. That's really what it is. Okay, God damn. Damn. Okay. I'm not the scorekeeper, so I'm not gonna concern myself with this. Okay. So in 3rd place with a 58.7, winning $20 whole. Y'all, I'm so fucked up. I forgot. Let me run that back because we do things right around here. In 3rd place with a 58.7, winning 20 whole American dollars. Give it up for Bambi.
I didn't even think that was me.
Why not?
Thank y'all. Thank you. Thanks. All right, that's all I got to say.
Do you have a book?
Oh, I do have a book. Oh, yeah, I have a book. It's called Accidentally Ordered an Espresso. You can find it on lulu.com. It's probably also going to be in my bio after this.
I think Arvin just
you should
just posted.
It's right there. It's it's in there. It's there. Buy my book. The struggle is real. $20 means a lot.
It really do. Buy poets books because that's what pays bills. Or like half a bill, which is better than zero bills. Maybe not even half, you know. But you know, like I'm just saying it like
we live in California.
A Chipotle burrito, you know, is a nice consolation prize.
Period.
But yeah, on a side note, I know it says tiny URL, but I always like to say tiny URL. Moving right along, God, this is gonna be so fun. Because we have a tie for first place. With a 59.6. I need Chev and Sova. So there's two options. There can either be a haiku death match, which fun, but also time zone. So I don't know how, like, where people are at, how much time y'all have, whether or not y'all want to go to bed. Or y'all can split second and first prize for $40 each. Yeah. So it only, instead of one getting 50 and one getting 30, it'd be 40 each.
Split.
I got haikus.
I was ready. I'm like, you a slam, a poet. Slam poet. So what is it? Are we gonna split it? I think.
I'll find a haiku.
Wait. Oh, we doing a haiku? Oh, we got haikus. Okay. There was a tie last week too, and there was a haiku death match too. And I'm so glad we're back to that because we used to do like this is only our second haiku death match since quarantine. We've been at this for a year. Oh my God. I need all of you motherfuckers to stay in the house. Don't go to none of this concerts at the motherfucking club. Like, I need y'all to stay in the motherfucking house unless you're going to work.
Not for no Bow Wow.
Not for no Bow Wow. Y'all got COVID from Bow Wow. Y'all ought to be ashamed of your motherfucking selves. Damn. God damn.
Nasty.
God damn. Nobody went to a Bow Wow concert when he was hot. Y'all just want to go outside, don't you? Damn. I'm stalling while they come up with their haikus, but damn, like, do we want to go? Like, I've never wanted to go outside so bad.
I'd be ashamed though.
I will say, all the girls I had crushes on went to Bow Wow concerts, so all of them.
That's something.
But Kev, look at your relationship.
Mr. Omarion concert.
First of all. Did you say I went to an Omarion concert?
And if they went to Bow Wow, it's because they missed the Omarion concert.
Oh, yep, ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
Anyway, are our poets ready for this haiku death match?
How many rounds we got? 1, 2.
Just one.
All right, just one. All right, let's go.
You know, Chev kind of looks like Bow Wow.
Damn. All right. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so we need to decide who is going to go first, which means we need to flip a coin.
Do you have a coin flipping app? Yeah.
I have a coin flipping here.
This is why you're God.
So, what is the preference of what is the preference or who picks heads, who picks tails?
I'll take heads.
You'll take heads? Okay. I'm gonna flip it. And it's tails. All right.
Sova, would you like to go first or would you like to go second?
Second.
Okay. Lit. So judges, what you're going to do is you're going to listen to both haikus, and then at the end, you're going to send the name of the poet who you think won that round. And then, yeah, there's only 3 judges, so there's no tie. It should be cool. And then we'll figure out who won this thing, bruh. All right, so Chev, are you ready?
Haiku. Do roses grow thorns, knowing men don't ask before touching pretty things?
Oh.
Okay, hold your reactions. Hold your reactions. No swaying, judges. This is not sway in the morning. You don't have the answers. But the judges do. All right, Silva, are you ready?
Okay. I'm gonna lose. It's fine. White boy falls for me and can't get up or get me off, apparently.
All right. Save your reaction. Okay. Judges, I need you to send your scores.
Is it all right if Chev repeats it one more time?
But okay.
It's okay.
Only if Silva agrees to repeat too, so it's fair for everybody.
Yeah.
Lit. We can do it again. I'm not mad. I think the judges have a hard ass job. Y'all might need to hear these again.
Haiku. Do roses grow thorns, knowing men don't ask before touching pretty things?
Gang, all right. And Silva, it's on you.
White boy falls for me and can't get up or get me off, apparently.
Gang. All right. So Tino's laptop died. He's right here. So what you're going to do is you're going to give me your score. So yeah, judges, direct message me the name of who you think won. Okay. We got one score.
Reggie, are you Berkeley Slam?
I am the host, but host has ho in it.
The host.
Ooh. This is ooh. Okay. Whew. I don't know why I have so much anxiety. This is stressing me out. In a 2-1 split. This is so stressful. Wow. In a 2-1 split, our winner winning first place and 50 whole American dollars. Give it up for Chev. Bra, 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 bra.
Yeah, yo. Did you just write that? That's clever as hell if you just wrote that. I'm referring to so this slam's been a lot of fun. Like, I enjoyed everybody's poems. Just dope to be surrounded by dope people and dope hosts in dope spaces.
Thank you so much for coming out here. Silva is our second place winner, winning 30 whole American dollars. Do you have anything to say to the people?
Wow. It was my first time winning an American Slam. I always get my ass beat real bad. Yeah, I'm in Toronto, just for reference. Yeah.
Oh, lit.
It's 1:30 right now.
Oh my God. Thank you for the commitment. Because I don't know if it could be me. But wow, thank you so much for coming. Thank you, Silva. Thank you, Chev. Thank you, Bambi, Chardonnay, Bryce, Summertime, Colin, Billy, who am I forgetting? I don't feel like I'm forgetting. Nicole, Tracy, Bryce. I said Bryce. There's so many people, and all of y'all were so good, so good. And we hope y'all come back next time. We will be posting the sign up list to our next 2 shows. Our next show is going to be the Berkeley Poetry Slam, not the Berkeley Poetry Slam, the Oakland Poetry Slam, featuring Damani Thomas, the defender of Oakland. If you don't know Damani, you will learn. You will learn. And then we will be coming back with another Berkeley Slam. Who is our feature next week? Sean Williams. Oh, lit. Oh my God. Oh, we're just giving you quality features this month because our next feature is Sean Williams. So we're just giving quality. Don't you ever say RichOak Events didn't do it for y'all during Black History Month, because damn. So yeah, y'all want to be here next week for our next show. And we have another open mic next Saturday at RichOak Alchemy on Instagram. So like, all I can say is, sweetie, tap in. I've been Reggie. I've been your lovely host for the night. We will see y'all next time. Stay indoors. Remember what SpongeBob said. It's a magical place with magical charms. Indoors. Thank you.
Good night. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you so
I can't
much.
do no more.